former National Chief Matthew Coon Come, who led the negotiations down in Quebec when separatism was starting to happen out east. Today you were here in the Alberta legislature, and I'm just curious, what were your thoughts when the UCP was unwilling to denounce separatism?
The rhetoric of separatism is very dangerous. You're creating a division. It will automatically create a divide. You're dividing your people, and it's a dangerous debate, and it'll happen in the kitchen tables, and families will be divided. That's the most dangerous thing that we've learned.
The Premier stated in her message today that she honors Treaty 6, 7, and 8 and inherent rights and Section 35 rights, however is giving the authority to a citizen-led ballot to go on a referendum around separation.
That is the strategy that Quebec also took. It appeared that Quebec was standing by, let the people decide, see what happens. That's what your Premier is doing. And I think the Premier must understand the province of Alberta is not a nation. Therefore, under international law, they don't have the right to self-determination. Unfortunately, in my view, there's other issues that need to be dealt with. And that is that Indigenous peoples have treaties, and those are recognized also under international law. There's the international law on the UN Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. The Indigenous peoples from Treaty 6, 7, and 8 have made it very clear of their opposition, because anybody can leave the country as they wish. But to the Native people, this is our land. These are our natural resources. We should be involved if there's any discussions or any tables where there's a potential of secession from Canada.
You beat Quebec and it didn't happen. And what do you see happening here play out in Alberta?
They'll take a lot of strategy, to develop a legal strategy, a communication strategy, a political strategy in order to fight those who are opposed to separating Alberta from Canada. And the provinces are limited. Under our Constitution, it's very difficult to try to secede from Canada. If you go down the road, you'll need the other provinces to agree. It's not an easy. And you're going to create the economic uncertainty, instability, and you prevent the growth of your province. And I think we're in a very strong position, the Indigenous peoples. And for us here in Canada, for Indigenous people, this is an opportunity to raise the level of discussions on the awareness of treaty, lack of treaty implementations, and the awareness that it's the Indigenous people of this country that have the right to self-determination, but they're saying we want to stay in Canada. It is our land, it is our resource, and we want to have a say on what happens in our own backyards. And if Alberta wants to secede, well, we have a say to it. And if it happens that there is a yes vote, then we want to be at the table.
Incredible. Lead negotiator, former National Chief Matthew Coon Come here in Alberta, meeting with Treaty 6, 7, and 8 chiefs today to discuss what the meaning of this and the significance of this referendum decision and where Alberta is going to be headed. Thank you for your leadership, your time, and your bravery.
Thank you very much.